All right, this is a recording for Gary Barnes and for Sonia Simone. I just want to thank you guys for your on-purpose results coaching class that I recently signed up for last fall. It just finished officially, and I just wanted to say thanks to y'all and tell you how much I appreciated it. And I wanted to tell you this with a story. And the story is I got the idea for this story, or the reason I'm telling this story today is that Gary's idea of the little genius prompted me to remember this, and the idea was to try to remember your earliest memory, and I've always known what that was because it was such a vivid memory for me. It was a great memory because it had a happy ending. At least I thought so. Well, here's the story. So, when I was 4 years old, my family would go out on our little tiny houseboat. We'd go out with a bunch of different families. We drive about 6 miles out to this awesome spot near the beach. It was in a little inlet, and we would gather there and have a lot of fun. It seemed like we did it every weekend in the summer. And those were great memories. Well, one of the times when I was 4, I fell off the boat on the way there. And I had this big gaff stick where you would grab ropes off the dock. It's probably about 6 feet long anyway. I was big enough to pick it up, and I was sticking in the water to see how deep the water was, because this was a pretty shallow bay that we would ride through. It's called Muddy Bay. And anyway, well, one time when I was stuck at the thing, got stuck in the mud, and I did not let go of it, and I fell off. And I thankfully could swim at this point. I did not have on a life jacket, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I remember seeing the boat going away down this bay, and here I am swimming. I remember, though, I wasn't afraid. I knew my parents would come back and get me, which thankfully they did. My mom looked around a few seconds later, said, "Where's Dave?" And then she looked back about 50 yards, and there I was swimming around, a little 4-year-old. So they turned the boat around. I remember the boat coming back. I remember my dad reaching down in the water and saying, grab my wrist," which at the time I thought was funny. I didn't expect him to say that. But I grabbed his wrist, and he pulled me up on board. And so that's the story. I've told that story 100 times to my kids, so much that their eyes just glaze over when I start telling the story again. And I thought that was it. But because Gary said, think about that story and think about how it has influenced you, because those moments that our earliest memories have, they resonate for us for a reason. With this idea that he calls a little genius, which is a very cool idea. So I thought about that, and I thought more about, well, what happened after that? So what happened after that is that we came with all the other families and all the other people, and that story of me falling off the boat was the big topic that weekend, or at least it felt like the big topic for me, because I remember not liking that at all. I did not like being the center of attention. Even at 4 years old, I knew that was something I didn't want to have anything to do. Okay, so here's my point, and here's why I'm telling you this story. Through Gary's coaching and Sonia's help, I was able to take that story that I've known for a long time, investigate it further, and really figure out what's going on. Because I have projects that I want to do on the web, which I cannot do if I am behind the scenes. I need to be out there becoming an authority, showing my authority in my niche. And that is one of the huge things that has been holding me back, which is the whole reason I contacted and got interested in Gary's program in the first place. So that's my little story about kind of how I benefited from the coaching, from the on-purpose results. I could tell 20 stories just like that from different things that Gary has made me realize. So I just wanted to shout out to Gary and Sonia and say thanks in this little video. And notice that now I'm sitting in front of the camera instead of behind it, where I've spent the last 20 years behind the camera. So thanks. Best of luck in all the future endeavors of you guys. I appreciate it.